We're gonna get this kicked off. Okay, you guys, I am so excited about tonight's training. When I was like, what should we be doing this week? It just became really obvious with how many new partners are joining, that this is a very necessary training. But also, then I'm like, wait a minute. There's nobody that's not new to what we're doing tonight, or what we're doing with XMD. So just wanting everybody, whether you've been here with Singular prior or you just got here for XMD, looking at this with new eyes, because the way that the world works has changed, and I legitimately feel like less is more. And especially with something like XMD that we're offering, that's like a guarantee of result and this premium product, this is so much going to be about how we posture ourselves in order to actually get somewhere. So I'm excited you're here, whether you're new. I'm excited you're here if you've already been with Singular, because we're all new to this. And the number one thing I want to normalize right now is being new and no expertise required in order to take off. Nicole proved that the other month. There is no like amount of knowledge you need to have to make it so you can be successful doing this. Let's normalize being new and no experience or knowledge required in order to just start taking off. Okay. So the goal tonight is clarity. From clarity comes confidence. From clarity comes all of the good things. We all know if you have no vision and you are not clear, good luck on hitting the target. Good luck on getting anywhere, especially not overwhelmed. So the goal for tonight is to bring clarity, whether you're brand new, or clarity if you're an existing partner and you're like, okay, I'm doing the things, but I'm not seeing the results type of thing. Okay, so the other thing tonight is, and I have notes here, so I'm going to be looking at my notes. Tonight is also about posture, how you're posturing yourself and how you're posturing XMD and our product. Okay. So the number one thing I want everyone to take away from tonight, you do not need to know everything about peptides. You just need to know why you chose them and be willing to have conversations. Okay. So just that is all you need to know whenever it comes to this. So the first thing I want to do is start this off with some structure. Everybody's doing this around their kids. Some people are doing this around their kids and a full-time job. So having structure is going to be the most major way to get a leg up here. Um, it's going to set you up for success. So it's also going to remove overwhelm and the decision fatigue. Anybody else experience decision fatigue? I was majorly before I started doing this weekly rhythm, because I'm like feeling like I got to post every day. What am I going to post? And then, it's analysis paralysis for a lot of people. You got all these screenshots and ideas in your phone, but like what actually gets executed? That's what we're going to be doing tonight. And we want to keep this fun and creative. Having structure keeps this what it is supposed to be. If you are not having fun, chances are you are teetering towards the side of feeling burnt out. And that's a choice. We don't have to feel that way here. What I want you guys to feel when you're making content and whenever you're doing your weekly rhythm and your weekly updates, I want you to feel fun and I want you to feel creative. So much about social media, whenever it gets like bad for me, it's because I've been consuming way too much of it and not creating enough. And actually the creating process can be very fun and can be an outlet for you if you want to look at it that way, especially if you're brand new and you're like, I've never done this before. Like Kelsey, my brand new partner, she's like, I don't share anything about myself on social media. And then this is how she's kind of coming out there with it. And she crushed it. Her first video was awesome. And so lean into that creative process. The other thing is, about having structure is peptides feel big, but structure keeps it really simple. And then so I want to get into the weekly rhythm. When I can't even read my own handwriting. First thing is, I am not light years away from you guys in terms of what's working and all of these things. I'm just doing it as I go. So number one, you do not become a leader by having a team. You become a leader by doing the action steps that it requires to have people come and follow you. So make sure that you are being self-led and know that the people come whenever you become someone that people want to follow, because they know clearly that you know where you're going. Okay, so that's number one thing. The weekly rhythm looks like this. If you have a piece of paper, write it down. If not, no big deal. I'll get this posted somewhere. The weekly rhythm is this: document, create, share, converse. That's how it's going to look within your week. This is the one thing, if you don't have time to be posting every day or any of that stuff. And plus, I'm not even sure if posting every day is like how to get results right now. This is what you want to be following. So if you want a little bit more specific in depth on exactly like how I'm creating the videos or what's coming to mind, I did do a training 2 weeks ago that we can do a recording for, but also would like to know if in the next couple of weeks, you guys would like me to take a raw, unedited video and edits and literally edit it with you. The whole process. Like, wow, how did I get the idea? How am I actually editing it? That whole thing. Let me know if you guys want to do that. And I'll just do one walking through with you basically in the next couple of weeks. We already have a subject for next week, but the week after we could totally do that. And I think that'd be really fun. So first thing is we're going to document. So this is basically just going to be like in your thought process. It's a Wednesday, whatever day you do your injections. I didn't start it on purpose doing it on a Wednesday, but it really pans out super well if you are doing your injections on a Wednesday or a Thursday, because then around Friday, whenever people are like waiting for Friday to get paid, they're seeing your content, they're ready to go right then. So I have found that like a Wednesday, Thursday for the documenting, taking my peptides part is like right on the money. So this is the day that you're just like taking a video of doing your injection. Maybe it's not talking at all. If you don't have a plan, just document it. Don't say a word, just take the video. That's what I do when I don't have a prior plan. If I have a prior plan, I might be talking through it. I might be doing an update with my mouth, but usually I'm not. Next thing is you're going to be creating a piece of content. You can do it that day if you want. If you want to turn it out and turn it around and you have that kind of time, go for it. If you don't, do your creating on the next day. So you can come up with your ideas the day that you took it. Maybe you already have the idea. Maybe you're coming up with it that very day that you're actually creating it. Just give yourself like an hour to have that creative process and to make the content. And when you space it out like that, it really isn't overwhelming at all. So you may already have the idea. Like I said, I like to keep a little notes section on my phone of things that I think would be great specific things to hone in on for my videos, because the main key with this right now is going to be refine. You're not trying to tell everybody every benefit of it. You're trying to talk to one person in your weekly videos. Okay, so I like to just be trying to, so for my last one, if you guys have been following, for my last one, it was, all right, I changed up my peptide this week. Here's what I changed up. I have gotten such a major response from my last video. It's like honestly mind-blowing to me. I have all these current customers that are like, hey, I want to be on that little stack. And I'm like, dang, there's really something to me just sticking to one subject. I didn't say it's got tirzepatide, which does this, 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 and this. It's got B12, which does this, this, that, and that. It does. And now I have NAD, which does this, 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 and this. I just got it so refined down to the most few words I could say, and ChatGPT will help you with refining. So refine, refine, refine. Okay, so keeping it on point. It also, being refined is a posture. Like I've been trying to tell you guys, with what we're selling with a very premium, expensive product, with XMD, which is not going to be for everybody and their dog. It's going to be someone who's looking to support their body in a new way, someone that is willing to invest in their body. You have to posture yourself for the kind of client that wants to come and do this. And that kind of person does not want to be sold to. They're looking to ask questions. So make sure your posture is very confident, very cool, relaxed. We can guarantee someone a result with this product. We don't need to oversell. You know, I have found that the less I say, the more questions I get and the more conversations I'm in. So that's helpful too. You don't need to say a lot. You need to say less. Less is more. 1 second. If I'm posting, yeah. Okay. So the next piece after creating is going to be to share the content. So maybe you share it the same day that you create it. Maybe you took your injection Wednesday, made your content Thursday, post your video Friday. It doesn't really matter. You're going to give yourself a couple of days for this first process. Hypothetically, you're on a Thursday or Friday. After you share that video, boom, you are done with the heavy lifting for the week. If you're working a full-time job and you're a mom, which most of us are moms, like this is doable for anybody. I'm not asking this to be something you have time for every single night, because I know you don't have time for it every single night. Also, who wants to work every day? Guess what? I don't want to work every day. And this is a high leverage job where we don't have to. So let's set ourselves up for that. And knowing that anybody that joins this is going to be able to come in to do this and duplicate the same exact thing, no matter how busy their life is. So you post the video. Great. Now, anything else you want to post the rest of the week is extra. You don't need to post every single day. It's great if you're not just posting once a week. If you can sprinkle things like today, one of the most common questions I've been asked, and all these people are afraid to start because they think they're going to lose their hair. So I did a small story series today using chat's help about how I haven't lost hair and why. And so that objection isn't something people are thinking about. So that was like the extra, but it's good, and it's again specifically on point. So you post it, you're good. Now, for the next 4 to 5 days, your job is to be in those new conversations. And when you post this piece of content that is specific, you are going to get into new conversations. You're also going to use this weekly rhythm as your follow up. So you're not needing to go blow people up every week. You don't need to go send the video to every person you've ever talked to about XMD. But some weeks there might be something you specifically talk to that is like, oh, I remember a person that I had this exact conversation with. Some weeks are milestone weeks. If it's a month on your peptides, or for me, it was the last week, it was I'm 3 months on, I might go and take that video and actually physically send it to everyone I've talked to about XMD and say, hey, I know you're still on the fence. I just wanted to send you a 3 month update. So I use my videos as a reason to follow up with people. Either I send it to them or I don't. It's still follow up either way because they're following my journey. Okay, so the follow up becomes a lot less heavy with a weekly rhythm. Okay, so inside of how these conversations are going to go, and hopefully my kids don't freak out seeing me in the car. Um, oh,
I need my water.
okay. Have a good practice. So I want to screen share and show you guys how I'm actually going about the conversations and what kind of messages I'm using. So if you guys don't have boards yet, if you're brand new, make sure that your coach sends you the link to our board. I'm going to show you guys the messages that I use. Share screen. I mean, Zoom, with how often things get changed. You got to be like a Jedi to do these. Okay, so we're going to go over to boards. Actually, I'm going to go a step back. Here is a little square I keep on my phone right here for Zingular. I've got my back office saved there. I've got my pay portal saved, project broadcast, my milkshake, my board, and my Zingular app. I like to keep them all in one collective place. If someone could just unmute and tell me that you can see what I'm sharing, that would be great.
We can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yay, thank you so much. Okay, so here's the XMD board. This is what you're going to spend most of your time doing. Lots of great information inside of boards, but you don't need to concern yourself with all of it. Again, like knowing things is not going to help you actually create results, but using the tools can. So here's the main thing I use inside of here is the giving info and how to order. So there's two main starting messages here. The reason for that is that sometimes when someone messages you, they don't, like, again, we're not trying to oversell. They might just straight up want the link and they don't want to have a conversation with you. They want to go take a look at the information themselves. Maybe they've already been on peptides prior, or they've done enough educating and they just really want the link to go. If that's the case, this is a message I use a lot of times. Like, this would be an example of when I would use this is if someone just direct messaged me and said, hey, I'm ready. This is a message that I would use. Or if I posted on my story with a little mark that said, like, send me the link, this is going to be the one that I will use. I'm not trying to start a back and forth conversation with them. They asked for the info. Here it is. Here's how you can order it. This message is so good. Hey, excited to link you to the details. It's very simple, self-guided process. Click the link below, get started, choose which peptide route aligns with your goals. If you want recommendations, let me know. Complete the intake form to book your visit and confirm your order. Your money will be refunded after your virtual visit if you're not full send on moving forward, and then inserting your link. Right to the point. People don't want to talk back and forth these days. They just want what they want. Now, here's the time that you might want to use this other version of it, which is just more to qualify them. So I'm going to show you an example. On my Instagram, I had someone comment yesterday on this video, and she said, she goes, interested. Or, hey, Logan, can I get info on this? Thanks, girl. Both of these two comments here, I used this other message because my video is a little bit more vague. I don't super know like that they just want the link. So I'm going to go in with this qualifying question. Excited to connect. It's a personalized peptide program that works through trusted telehealth doctors. Also, they asked for info. So that's different than asking for the link. And it just tells them a little bit more and says, does that sound like the kind of approach you've been looking for? Qualifying them. So those are going to be the two main messages that you use when someone first messages you. You don't need
You're muted.
Thinks he's trying to get back on.
Yeah. Hey, Maddie, why don't you give people an update? Is she still on here? While we're waiting for Logan to jump back on.
Yes, I'm in the shower.
Okay.
Okay, but I can't give you an update. So, I have got a few updates for. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are. I've been talking to Russ the past couple of days, and there's some really exciting updates coming for XMD. One of them, you guys probably know if you were on the Brain Partner call, they are trying to transfer as much of the XMD customer service to Zingular as they possibly can, just because Zingular has, just such a high standard for customer service and all that stuff. So they're trying to take over as much customer service as they can. Another really exciting update is they're working on making it so whenever somebody purchases XMD, right now it can take, up to like 10 days for the volume to show up. And so what they're working on right now is making it so that when the person orders XMD, we get the volume. Like the volume is going to be showing up pretty much immediately, which is really, really exciting. Another thing they're working on is getting it so that everybody has an X5 tracker in their back office. So now you're going to be able to see your progress and with the XMD volume going in pretty immediately. That's obviously going to make just building on momentum and knowing where people are at a lot faster. A tip that I did get, so actually I'm going to address this. So yeah, the momentum piece. So this is personalized peptide therapy. And when it comes to personalized, I've had a really great conversation with Russ last night about this. Personalized doesn't mean you as the consumer are picking everything that you want to pick based on your research, on your opinions, on your things. Personalized peptides means that this is what the physician is recommending and guiding people to do. So when it comes to the ordering process, they're going to try to make it a lot more streamlined. Like from our perspective, like us being able to say, okay, you're going to take the quiz and based on your BMI, this is what is recommended for your route. So instead of people going to the page now and saying that they can pick from a macrodose or a microdose, they're going to take the quiz and it's going to tell people what is recommended based on their actual BMI and just having people trust the process of what the physicians are guiding people to do. So when it comes to personalized peptide therapy, going into personalized as in this is what, is medically recommended. And then as we know, like the add-ins are based upon what pharmacies have available, but also what I learned last night was that this whole dosing of tirzepatide and semaglutide is so much more complicated than I realized because of proprietary amounts that like Lilly, the overseeing pharmaceutical company, owns. So I'm just being so much more educated on what actually goes into the process of people being prescribed what they're prescribed, what truly makes it personalized. And then the last tip that I'm going to get, because I see Logan's back on. So some people are having to wait, like sometimes it's like, holy smokes, I ordered and I met with the physician and it's been like 10 days. Like, where's my volume? Where's my tracking order? Russ Cowley said that if we can streamline this and give people the confidence that based on the quiz that they're taking, that what is most recommended for them is going to come out and that's just what they need to trust and order. And then you can, edit from there. If you do not meet with a physician, he's seen a turnaround time of somebody being on a call to their tracking order showing up in 3 hours. So based on just all the feedback they've got, if you're wanting to really expedite the process or have new customers expedite the process, if they need to meet with the physician, they can. As most of you guys know, that meeting is usually like 30 seconds to a minute, And so if we can just have people trust the process,
If they need to meet with a provider, they can. If not, it's going to really expedite how quickly their prescription is going to be sent to the pharmacy. So those are just some exciting updates.
Okay, hopefully it showed you guys everything. Did I get through the app screen sharing? Hopefully.
Well, the second message is where you were at. Like, not the second message, but you had just talked about if they were reaching out for information, that you not asking
I didn't even get any of the app stuff. None of the app stuff was on there. Oh my gosh, that's really crazy. So I was gone for a really long time, I guess. Okay, well, okay, I don't even know about screen sharing now. Now I'm worried about screen sharing. So maybe I'll do the trackable links thing on a different day. But if you don't have the Singular app downloaded, make sure that you have it downloaded because there's so much helpful information in there. If you need to grab your website really quickly, that's a great place to do it. But also this feature called trackable links. If I'm ever doing like a Facebook post, or if I'm doing like an Instagram story, or sending my XMD link to someone specific, you can make it to where it's trackable so that you know every time that they're opening it, which really helps with serving them. It helps with following up with them. I love just the information that it gives me, because sometimes you make a Facebook post or an Instagram story and nobody messaged you. So you're like, oh, well, that was null and void. I guess that didn't work. Well, sometimes people are tapping on the thing, they're just not talking to you. So it's really good information for you to know what kind of posts are landing, what ones aren't. I always use them when I message my customers, not because I can tell exactly who hit on it, but because I need to know like what messages are customers like, enjoying, and what ones are they just kind of ignoring. It's really helpful to know. So I'll use trackable links all the time. There's a trackable link in my Instagram bio. I like to know whenever people are hitting it. I don't always know unless they take the quiz exactly who they are, but I like to know these things. And so I'll do another. And if you're like a newer builder and you want to know how to make a trackable link, I will get with you really quickly, because you're definitely going to want to use them. If I've sent someone a link and they've opened it 5 times, that tells me they're very interested in this, and it's probably a financial or timing thing. It's not just I send them the link and they don't care. It's like nice to know whenever someone is truly interested, and that helps me with knowing how to follow up with them and to support them, because maybe it's like, hey, maybe they need to know if you can start this with 4 people, yours is covered. That kind of stuff is helpful to know, to be able to tell somebody. So your X app is going to be huge. And using those 2 messages and boards, I don't know how much of the second message you guys heard, but that second message I use whenever someone is really like has commented on my Instagram or something and they're asking for information. I need to qualify them. They aren't just asking for the link, they're asking for information. So it's that second question in boards, the qualifying question message, that's going to give them a little bit more about what it is and say, is this something you're looking for? So you have the green light to send your link. Okay, so those are the 2 main messages you're going to use inside boards. I use one or both of those every single day. I don't come up with new stuff unless I'm voice memoing someone. I use what's already there. Okay, so all of this to say, structure protects your time. Having some structure protects your time, and it also protects your confidence. And I need to mute somebody, I think. Do I? What is that noise? Okay, so moving on. A little bit of a pivot here. I want to talk about something a little bit different. So obviously you scale your business, you scale your network marketing business by having partners join you, right? It's a lot harder to scale and grow if you only have customers joining you. There is obviously something to that for the long term and for the people that are trying to build freedom here. However, maybe you don't want to build a team. There's going to be people that join that like they don't want to be a leader at any point, and I want to support people wherever the heck that they are at. So I have those conversations with people right whenever they join, like, where are you? Do you want to build this? Like, how much do you want me to pour into you, or are you just trying to like help a few people and get your stuff paid for? 2 very different things, and always setting the expectation is really helpful. Or so just knowing, if you're brand new, your number one job is to just start getting a couple of customers. Even if you were only doing customers, the commissions are so great with XMD that you're still going to be able to create some financial stuff. You're still going to be able to get your peptides covered, but it's going to be a lot harder to scale and grow. So customers are an immediate win. Why they're huge for brand new people or people that were doing Singular now doing XMD is they're proof that you can do this. And that is a confidence builder. You build confidence. You will find that confidence comes from helping a few people, not knowing everything. You're going to start feeling really good when you're helping the people, not whenever you're like in boards learning more and more and more and more about peptides. I kind of laugh now. I was telling this to Ashley today. I kind of laugh now about how I initially started talking about peptides because I was literally just telling people what a peptide was. Literally no one cares what a peptide is. They just care, is this going to work? How are you liking it? How are you using it? That's what people care about. They don't care about what a peptide is. And I spent so much time doing stuff like that. So don't waste your time trying to educate people on peptides. A lot of people are already there. They got it. They just want to know something like this exists for you to connect them to. The other thing that's so great about getting customers that we all need them. Obviously, I really love starting new partners. I'm trying to scale this, but we all have to bring on new partners every single month. That's how you keep a healthy, thriving business, is to keep new people coming in. And because X5 bonus, baby, if you're brand new and no one has told you about the X5 bonus yet, our company does something that I cannot believe they do, and hopefully they do it forever, where from the beginning of day one of the month to the end of the month, you have the ability to earn $400 in bonuses just from signing up 5 new people. So that's on top of all of your commissions. You can get $400 extra dollars just from bringing on 5 new people. So that's exciting. Okay, so just want to quickly touch on this because every single person that I have signed up on peptides, and I've even had people verbatim tell me, I'm only here for XMD, I'm not here to sell the supplements. Even those people have asked me, what else are you doing for your weight loss? Is there anything else I need to be doing to support myself? People need the tips. Like, that's the reason that our company is so powerfully positioned, is because we are not just speaking to one side of this equation. People aren't going to be dealing with side effects. People aren't going to be dealing with the nasty parts of this that kept us all in judgment and not wanting to do this for so long. That doesn't have to happen to everybody because of the supplementation part and because of what we know on the other side of this. So 3 products I just want to talk about because they've been very relevant for me in my peptide journey. And I've been mainly in voice memo, just quickly explaining to people when they ask me this, what I feel like that they could need to support them in this journey to make it a lot more comfortable. The last thing you want is people starting this and being uncomfortable and having a bunch of side effects. So just like do them to the due diligence to tell them. They don't have to buy anything extra. They don't even have to buy our stuff. They just need to know the baseline of what they need. So number 1 is going to be clear protein. Easiest sell and also most probably necessary thing for them to be doing while they're on peptides. Why? When you're losing weight and you're on peptides, you're either going to go in the direction of losing muscle or you could be going in the direction of gaining muscle. It just depends on how much protein are you getting. I want my people to be gaining muscle. And so I'm making it very clear that they need not just protein, but they need a convenient option of protein that they enjoy drinking. Like, I've been hearing about having protein for years. I still don't eat a steak for every meal. I still don't want to cook 4 eggs and eat another chicken breast. Okay, so it's 2026. Clear protein is delicious and it's easy and it's nutritious. So clear protein is going to be the main thing because we want our people building lean muscle while they're on the peptides. Second is going to be probiotic. Why? Because it's the most foundational thing you can do for your entire body. Another reason, peptides work a lot better in a body that has gut health that's taken care of. And that's kind of a one-stop shop. If they're not doing anything else, body's going to be more responsive to it and it's going to work faster if they're doing something for their gut. I even had a girl that she had to get off XMD because some financial stuff came up, but she's like, but I will always be on your probiotic because I can't be off that thing. It's not a casual product. And the third is going to be actually spring. And I was never a spring drinker prior to this, but just a little bit of TMI and something that I've experienced on the peptides. About 3 weeks and I started to get like a bladder infection feeling. Never had to get on antibiotics or anything, but it was like, oh crap, like I am not hydrating near enough. And when you're on peptides, you're like less thirsty, you're less hungry. So naturally you're not drinking, eating as much. And I'm not just talking about water. If you were just drinking water, you're still going to be missing hydration. We need like electrolytes. Another tip that my mom has that's great is a little pinch of some good quality salt in the morning under your tongue and a full glass of water after that is going to be a lot more hydrating than just drinking water. So the product we could be recommending for this is Spring. What I started doing was waking up, throwing a Spring in with my gut glow, and that I kicked that bladder infection extremely quickly. And it was just a reminder of like, wow, I can't play with being hydrated during this if I want this to be comfortable. So those are the 3 things that you could be recommending for people to help them support. Stay hydrated, do something for your gut. Maybe they already have a probiotic. It's probably not as good, but it'll work. They don't have to start with everything. And then making sure you're hitting your protein goals. And then promise that we're about done here. This is the last thing. Okay, so just a couple of bars here. Imperfect action beats waiting to feel ready. One of the most beautiful things about me, which I hated all growing up, was that I am a C student. Done for me is better than perfect. I am not a perfectionist. I am just someone that's like, here's the idea. I've executed it. Done. It's got to be done. It does not have to be perfect. You guys, better content isn't going to turn sales, but consistent content is going to. So just make sure you're being consistent over perfect. The really cool part about plugging into something like this, like XMD, is that you guys get to decide where the ceiling is at for yourself here. You get to decide how you show up and how you posture yourself. And I've found that something that makes me very magnetic is just showing up with a posture of confidence and a posture of, I know where I'm going. Do I have the results that I want right now? No. But how am I going to get them? By talking about where I'm going and knowing exactly where I'm going. And just know that even if you're brand new and you're starting out in this would have never happened for me if I was dipping a toe in. Doesn't mean you have to make it your whole personality, but you do have to be confident and you do have to make the decision for yourself that you are doing this. The best thing I ever did was decided I am doing this. If it takes me 10 years, doesn't matter. How the heck else am I going to get where I want to get in my life? Where else am I going to do it? You know? And so just know that you make the ceiling for yourself and you're in charge of how you show up. And guess what? Nobody cares how you show up. If you start showing up more confidently, you are going to see so many beautiful things open up for yourself, but also know that it's a muscle. So if you're brand new and you're like just about to put out your first piece of content, I was there too. I was just in 7th grade. So I've had a lot more time to get accustomed to these kind of things. So know it's a muscle. Just start and you will get good at it. Bad before you're good, good before you're great. Okay, so have that grace period, but just start keeping at it. Okay, and then the last thing is to know that you are so supported in this. The reason I don't feel like you need to know everything is because I know somebody who knows everything. Trust me, I don't know everything. I am not a details person, but I'll find out. I can text somebody or I can call somebody or I can get in my app and look around to find information. I'm not an encyclopedia. I'm not the details person, but I'll run and create this business because that's what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? I'm not here to get really educated and to come across as an expert. I know that the other person on the side of the screen is also not an expert, and I don't want to disqualify people. So you have to show up exactly who you are today, because that is going to empower someone else who is sitting exactly where you're at. One of the most empowering things about XMD for me has been, yes, I am a leader in Singular, but I loved when XMD came out and it was brand new because we are all on the same page of doing something absolutely brand new. I'm on here telling you guys all this stuff. And it's not like I have these crazy results right now. I have great results. That's why I'm sharing it. But I'm starting with where I am and just building from there. I'm not waiting till I have 100 customers on XMD to tell somebody else how to get results. No way. I'm doing whatever I can right now today because I know that whoever is across from me is probably sitting in the same position as me. And I don't want to disconnect myself from them. I felt like whenever you start to have success, it becomes harder to get people to do it because they feel more and more separate from where you are. A lot of power in showing up exactly where you are today. And that's really all I have. So any questions, comments? Know that you can share this with your brand new people as they're coming on. This would be a great recording to share with someone who is brand new.
Okay, I'm gonna just end in this. If you guys weren't on the brand partner call that Singular had yesterday, I just want you guys to know, like, there are brand new people coming here and getting started and having such fast success that, like, being on there was so exciting. And they pulled up, the top 10 people towards Founders Club points. And it was like half of those people on the screen have started in the last 3 months. And so I just, like, it's just such an exciting time. And Yeah. I mean, just the stories that were on that call of people who were brand new, really just focusing in on that X5. That's how they're really, grabbing people was really encouraging and exciting.
Yeah, and then the one of the things I was gonna say that I forgot to say was really it's like quality over quantity. When you're offering something that's really quality, that's how the stuff needs to come across. So if you're someone that's burnt out because you're posting a lot of times every day, but you're not getting results, flip the strategy. Start posting one intentional thing once a week, and then people are waiting for you to post. They're not just giving all the information out. They're like really looking for it because they know that it's not going to happen all the time. So if you're feeling like you're posting a lot and maybe not seeing the results, flip the script and try a new strategy. Try being super refined, saying less. It's not been easy for me because I have had years of doing the exact opposite of this. But now I'm seeing the results of showing up refined and right on point, and I'm like, never going back. Okay, well, we're 10 minutes over. We try to keep these to 30 minutes. So go ahead and share the replay. We'll make sure that you guys have it. We'll get it posted in Boom Team or whatever. And thank you guys for spending your evening with us. We'll see you next week.
Amazing.